let me tell you something. So they don't like us to do love letters. Okay. Love letters are a letter from a buyer to the seller telling them. Okay. And the reason why they don't like them because see, years ago, if I was to put an offer was for a buyer, I would go meet with the seller and their listing agent. I could sit down in front of them and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is my client is offering this much. And I could tell them about them. They're a young couple. They have a baby on the way. He's a policeman. She's a teacher. Good, strong income. I mean, we used to tell them like how much debt they had because we had to qualify them. It was very different. Well, now, because since COVID, nobody meets with anybody. All you can do is send your contract in an email with maybe a cover letter from you. So a lot of these buyers were doing these love letters. And then they felt that they were putting pictures in the love letters. So they didn't send them because they felt that somebody could discriminate that way. So they said, don't send the love letters. Well, whatever you send me, I send to the seller. Okay. So if you send me one, I send it because I think it makes a difference. And there has been quite a few deals that have gotten taken because the seller, a lot of times it's not about the money. They've lived in that house 40 years. I had one in Piscataway. I think we talked about it once before. I had multiple offers on it. And my own offer had a house to sell. I got them. They wanted it so bad. They put their house on the market. They called me. My stager went on Thursday. They stayed up all night and we put the house on the market Friday and we had 57 showings. But even with that, their house sold and it sold for I think 60,000 over asking price or more. And it was a good solid deal. But they were competing against cash offers. They were competing against people that were big down payments. They had a good down payment and everything, but they were competing against other offers that did not have a house attached. Now, if their buyer goes down, the whole deal goes down, right? And my owners took their deal. And my owners took their deal because they raised their children in that house. And this couple, I brought them there. My owner had cameras in the house so they could see what was going on sometimes for the showings. I kept telling them about this client that I just thought they were the right client. I actually showed them the house before it went on the market. We normally could not compete. We had good, solid credentials, and so did their buyer. But hey, somebody loses a job or gets furloughed, we're done, right? And actually, we're closing next Friday, so we're not there yet. But they took that offer because they felt like the people would, they had 2 young children. And what I said was, I felt there was a lot of character for this buyer to turn around and put their house on the market and do this all in 2 days and literally put up with 57 sets of people. 57 showings is probably like 200 people walking through their darn house, right? And to get it done. And that's what I said to my seller. When I see someone with this kind of commitment, but we always don't, and the seller knew me. This is the 6th house that I have sold for this seller, either sold or bought, a 6th transaction that I've done with this seller, grandma's house, aunt's house, and so they know me. They know me and they trust me, but they picked it. We had a cash offer that was not contingent and they took this offer and it was all over because it just was, this is the buyer, but that buyer was grateful. And we had some things come up and that buyer didn't really hammer them on home inspection. And, so things went well, but it's hard sometimes. It's very hard. When they can put a face to it, it's a little bit easier. But we don't really get to do that. It's all about facts. You got a spreadsheet with, okay, you got a 509, you got a 515, this much down. And it's just like, it's very, engineering type, like it's just so paper. But I always look for motivation. And I think when someone really needs a house, that's a better buyer. When that buyer needs a house versus somebody who just wants a house, sometimes, that's the motivation is key.